So this is going to show you how to complete your classification table. So here's a group of organisms: wolf, coyote, leopard, and bobcat. And they each have a classification level starting with, what's the top one? Domain. Very good. It goes domain, kingdom, fill it in, class, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Very good. So you are to fill that in here, and these are those different categories for these organisms. Okay? So what makes up the scientific name? The genus and the species. So a scientific name is written as a genus and a species name. Okay? So for the wolf, I go down here, remember this was genus and species, is Canis lupus. Whereas a coyote is Canis latrans, or a leopard is Panthera pardus, and a bobcat is Lynx rufus. Okay? Notice that the genus is always capitalized and the species is always lowercase. Which two organisms are most closely related? Who's got this one? Call it out, please. The wolf and the coyote. And the reason you know that is because they have the most classification categories in common. Right now, they're all animals in the animal kingdom. They're in the phylum Chordata. They're in the class Mammalia. Okay? They're in the order Carnivore. But when they get down to here, now they're in different families. Right? Canidae for the wolf and coyote. Felidae for the leopard and the bobcat. And the wolf and the coyote go further, they actually share the same genus, whereas the leopard and the bobcat do not. So these are more closely in common than these organisms are for that reason. Okay? And which taxa do leopards and coyotes diverge? Well, let's see, family. They diverge. Nope, they diverge in. Oh, leopards and coyotes. Leopards and coyotes do diverge in family, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family. Yes, absolutely, right here. Family's right here. Perfect. Okay? If two organisms are members of the same order, they also share the same kingdom, phylum, class, order. So if they share the same order, they also share what else in common? Kingdom, phylum, class, right? If you're the same order, you must also have these ones above you in common. Okay? Which of the following are most similar? Explain your answer. Which of these are most similar? A and C, because they each have the genus name in common, right? So if they have the genus name in common, you can imagine, I don't know what these organisms are, but I know they had the same categories all the way down to here. So they had domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, and genus in common. Only their species is different. Which taxonomic level is the most general? At the top, the domain, which goes here. I'm not filling it in for you. You need to fill it in for yourself, right? Which taxonomic level is the most specific? Species. Very good. Last thing I want to tell you before I leave, it's not in the sheet, but how do you define a species? A species is defined by two organisms that can mate, reproduce offspring, and the offspring also have to be able to reproduce and produce offspring. So to say that more simply, they have to be able to reproduce and produce fertile offspring. So whereas the wolf and the coyote may be able to mate, they cannot produce fertile offspring. Some organisms can actually produce offspring, but they're not fertile. For example, a liger is an offspring from a tiger and a lion. The tiger and the lion can reproduce, and they can produce an offspring called the liger, but the liger is sterile. The liger cannot mate with a tiger or a lion or another liger and produce another liger offspring. So it's not fertile. Fertile, you have to be able to produce offspring. Okay? So that's where species is a very, very important distinction. in that two organisms must be able to mate, reproduce, produce fertile offspring. Not just produce an offspring, but a fertile one that can also grow up and reproduce. Okay? I hope that was helpful. This will be on your test tomorrow.